Going. Says we're live.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Elite Racing Network. And tonight, it's another round of the Elite Racing Speedweeks here at Volusia Speedway. We are currently lining up for heat number one, and I'm your host, Michael Goodman, and along with me is David Westergreen. David, we're kind of changing things up a little bit here. We're hitting the dirt track.
Yeah, it's still a short track though, so as far as we're concerned, it's kind of same old for the old Tuesday afternoon. This is to promote, Elite Racing's Speed Weeks with the qualifying for the Daytona 500 and the duels tomorrow. Just kind of a little beak wetter here tonight to try to have some fun on the dirt tracks at Volusia.
Yeah, it should be a fun one indeed. The track is slick. You're going to see some of these guys where the speed's at. You're going to either want to be on that very bottom. Ran a few practice laps. It was pretty quick there, but as this track slicks up, we might see some highline ticklers up there, and we'll see who prefers to do what here in probably just a little bit.
Oh yeah, this is going to be a little bit of a chaotic race. We've got some guys who are experienced at dirt, and we've got some guys who are maybe a little more inexperienced. This should provide some good battling, I think. We were talking to Vincent Isabella here. He'll be outside the front row on heat number one, and he said that either you have to run the very top cushion or run right around the bottom of the racetrack near the inside wall.
You see Vincent up there getting a little that loose dirt up in that cushion, getting some dirt up there, trying to maybe get a little bit of grip on the restart. And to his inside, Zach T. Evans is going to be starting on the pole. In third spot is Scott Crump. Alex Belvans is in fourth. Chad Frankenfield fifth, and Jordan Owens in sixth. And I believe Rucker MIA here in this heat.
Yeah, and it shows me and a couple of other people, but no, just these six right here that you see on track. I'm interested to see what Zach T. Evans, one of our Tuesday regulars there, and he ran really well. I think he ended up in the top 10 in points. I'm kind of wondering what he's got here. Qualified it on pole. He's one of our elite Xfinity and Cup Series drivers, kind of in and out of both series so far, but he looks good here today.
Yeah, he was pretty good in the big block modified race, I do believe. I know he was kind of walking away from me, and that one even last night in the modified race had a pretty good night there as well. Or actually, that was Sunday night. But anyway, we're gonna get going green here, and they'll start him off. And Zach T. Evans gets the good start, and right away, ooh, Vincent. He said he wanted that high line. He powered on the outside and took the lead.
Vince Isabella shown that he knows how to run this dirt tracks. Doing a great job here early on in Heat 1. The battle is for second behind him.
That's Chad Frankenfield on the inside, but it looks like Zach T. Evans is going to get that good run out of the corner. Scott Crump, he's hugging that bottom line, trying to get grip.
Ooh!
Nothing doing. Ooh.
Little
Yep.
contact in the back as well between Owens and Alec Balvans.
And everything seems to be going good there. And you see just how slick that track is and how quick you can lose grip and how, if you have that grip, how quick you can shoot by. As you see Frankenfield, oh, getting a little slick there. Wasn't able to make the pass on the inside of Zach T. Evans.
Would it be fair to assume that the kind of defining factor of this dirt race is going to be the grip that these guys are able to produce rolling through these corners?
Yeah, especially when you watch him going into the corner. Obviously you want to see him get a little sideways, but if you've seen Chad there just a couple laps ago, you don't want to get too far sideways, and then your car won't hook up on exit. So grip is going to be a key factor, very huge here tonight.
And maybe one other thing before we kind of end this heat to kind of set the stage for the racing. How different is this racing in these sprint cars from maybe the bigger block cars that we saw you take a race in earlier this week? I think maybe it was Sunday for Speed Weeks.
I think the biggest difference that I noticed was in the big blocks modifieds, you were feathering it even down the straightaway because otherwise you lose control. Here, I mean, now with this track being worked in a little bit, especially if you're running the bottom there, as you see Zach T. Evans and Chad kind of doing their lap before, as we finish this heat, and Vincent Isabella getting the win. But the big factor in these cars for the most part. If you can stay on that high side, you can pretty much keep it wide open. And maybe if you're running the body, you might have to feather it a little bit. So I think maybe just a little bit of the power difference between the modifieds that we've seen here Sunday night and the 410 sprints that we see here tonight.
Gotcha. That's really helpful. Just a quick rundown on our second heat. Congrats to Vincent Isabella. He will, I believe, be on the pole for the feature. Here's the lineup for the second one.
He's representing. I believe he wanted us to mention this. He's representing the PA Posse. So I think that's something Pennsylvania related.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but
let me. Well, I was going to say, let me show the Shane D. Manitoba car as well. They are running the twin cars there to kind of show that off. We wanted to go ahead and give them a shout out. But back to our little starting order, I suppose.
Yeah. Got Keeler starting on the pole, Vic Bloom in second, Thomas Sherman starting third, Shane D. Manitoba in fourth, Derek Self in fifth, Austin Beers, the short track kid, trying a little dirt track kid here tonight. He starts in sixth. Hunter Weiss is in seventh. And he might not even be in the field either, because I know I'm not. I'm the ninth car there.
You're here.
Yeah, I'm here, not out there. But I believe they're in Shane's car too. I believe with the shark teeth on it, it's Shark Racing. So that must have something to do with the PA Posse, and it's kind of cool that they chose to run identical schemes and something close to their hearts, local sprint car drivers and teammates going to be in the Elite Cup Series, ID Racing, newly formed team.
Yeah, I'll be in the Xfinity car for ID Racing as well. So good to see those guys running well, especially because Vincent just won heat number 1. He'll be going after heat number 2 here, or D. Manitoba will be going after heat number 2 to kind of follow up with his team car.
No bias, though. No bias.
Well, there's Vic Bloom here on the outside of the front row. We haven't even mentioned him. He's also part of ID Racing. But pole sitter is Mark Keeler, laid down the second fastest lap in qualifying. And he will have a chance to start from the pole and maybe get a good quick jump.
See, as they take the green flag, will he get that grip on the bottom? He gets a good start out of the hole. But looks like Vic's going to try to get that grip on the bottom. Doesn't look like it's going to stick.
Ooh, no.
Oh, no, he does.
Vic got a good run through there,
Wow.
and Vic Bloom to the lead.
And he's doing that. I didn't think he was going to get that grip there. That was a good job by Vic Bloom to take over the lead, making that low line work, feathering it just enough, not sliding. And then Keeler trying to get back and get around. You see that rear end kick out a little too much, hard to get that grip. As now you see Vic kind of maybe hugging a little bit more towards that cushion, try to get that grip coming out of the corner.
Thomas Sherman is running third right now, and he requested that he win these races as a birthday gift. So happy birthday to Thomas Sherman. We didn't get a chance to hit him on him pre-race, but qualified third, running third, doing a great job. Trying to chase down the battle for the lead between Mark Keeler and Vic Bloom.
Vic Bloom kind of closes the door there on Keeler. Will hold on to the lead so far, but Keeler is waiting for his opportunity. He's going to have to regroup there a little bit. Because that high line's going to be a little slower, but if you got to make it stick on that inside.
Yeah, when we were watching the other dirt races this week for Speedweeks, we saw Vic run a couple of those races, and he wasn't necessarily the fastest car at any of those races, but he was always consistent. And right here, he's showing that consistency with track position is leading to some really good results as Sherman and Keeler bounce off each other.
Ooh, and he collects it, able to keep going. And that's a lot of the big thing here on dirt. I know that's probably one of my Achilles heels when I run dirt is be able to maintain that consistency. So if you don't always have to be the fastest, but if you can maintain a consistent lap speed, it can be very beneficial to a good run as Vic takes the checkered flag in heat number 2 and showing that consistency works.
Yeah, Vic just ran a really impressive little heat race there. That's he took it to the woodshed there. Both him and Vincent running very strong in those heat races, really pulling away from the field the entire time. So I believe this is going to be the feature then, 2 heats.
Yep, I think we're moving right on to the big show. 2 heats going right to the feature. And I'm not sure if the orders messed up here or did they just. Oh, they invert the top 8. There we go.
Whoa, interesting.
Interesting. Yeah. Should have read. I seen that beforehand, but I totally forgot about him. So that will make it interesting, and that will put Mark Keeler on the pole
Right.
for this race, and then Scott Crump on the outside.
Very
So
interesting. So we know where the top cars are. It's this 3 car back here, Vincent Isabella, and Vic Bloom there next to him. So those are the guys we're going to have to watch out for moving through the field.
yeah, and I'm very curious. I know Vic pre-race didn't sound very confident how fast he would be, but like we were just saying, he's consistent, and he had that track position. Now he's got to work his way through the field. But knowing how Vince, I think his pre-race mindset is he might just kind of let the race come to him. I think guys like Vincent and Vic, they'll be all right starting the back there.
Yeah, I'm with you there, especially given the amount of speed they kind of showed. We'll have to see if it's maybe clean air, maybe not even clean air, just track position that is the king. Though Mark Keeler had that at the beginning of his heat and then lost the lead to Vic Bloom.
Yeah, and sometimes I think you've seen both guys that started second in those heats, and Vincent and Vic, they got that run coming out of the outside. Well, actually, I think Vic actually passed him down low later.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was kind of, I guess, a tale of two different strategies of how to pass coming out of turn 2. But it'll be very interesting to see. I think they have speed, and I think they might be able to flex their muscles here in just a little bit.
It was good that we got to talk to Vincent beforehand, and then he went and showed us how it was done in that first heat. Just giving us that tip that, hey, you can run the bottom and you can run the top, but there's really nowhere in between. You have to either be hugging that inside wall, which is how Vic took the lead, or up on the cushion.
Yeah, kind of where you see Keeler right now. It's that kind of that slick spot. It's kind of the way iRacing does it. That's kind of the main groove that gets packed down and gets real slick. So that might be a hard place to run. You could maybe try to do a Hail Mary, but it's probably slim chances it's going to work.
Absolutely. So here we go for the Elite 410 Sprint Car race at Volusia for Speedweeks. Mark Keeler goes.
Going green. Oh, huge jump by Keeler here, but it looks like he almost spun tires going into one. A little interesting. As he takes a pretty good steady lead here.
And DiManitova going after Crump.
Ooh, he's doing his full-on send it right now. Couldn't quite get the grip on the bottom side. As we got a pack our... Oh,
caution's out.
So
this will be a 30-lap feature here, and looks like Derek Self was maybe the car on
that got it around. And man, it looked like we didn't really get to see a whole lot, but it looked like Vincent was on the charge there on that restart, or on the start of the race here. So I believe we have a hopefully nothing too bad here going on with the wreck.
It didn't pull up quite as well as I would have liked there, so having some issues on the technical side, but we can tell you Jordan Owens and Derek Self were involved in the wreck.
Were involved.
So
are they still on track, do you know?
Does not appear to be. I think both of them jumped pit road, which is what kind of caused my inability to load them up.
Oh, that happens.
Well, it looks like Jordan's still in.
But
and Derek is too. So, it's the 7. It was the 77 of Vic. There we go. Maybe I can grab this.
Oh no! So yeah, trying to see what happened here.
Yep, let's go. Got it. Had to get the right car. That'll load it up. So I think they come together here, coming off the next corner. Vic bounced it off the inside wall. Collected Austin Beers.
It looked like there's
Valvance as well.
So unfortunate for Vic, who had a promising night going with winning the heat. Currently sitting on pit road. Hopefully, looks like he might not get back out there for the restart here as we're getting ready to go back to green flag racing on lap 5 of 30. And Keeler and Crump are on the front row. And here we go, green flag, and Keeler with a big lead. Oh, gets in the wall. Frankenfield shoots to the lead. Holy moly, and Keeler falls all the way back, I believe, in third spot now, because Crump takes over.
And here comes that Vincent Isabella. Oh, Vincent got into somebody, and Vincent's crashed.
Oh,
Big crash on the
man.
front straightaway.
Big crash, and again, the promising night for those two guys, Vic and Vincent, winning the heat races, having tough luck, but it appears to be that Vincent might be okay, that he's still rolling there, but some guys might. Ooh. Thought he was almost going to get the pit wall there. I think he might need to go to pit road and get something fixed.
The question on these cars that I'm really kind of unaware of is how's that damage function? As I'll go ahead and take a quick look at the replay here for us. You know, if maybe you can, I don't know if you managed to run into anything at practice there, but you know, how badly does that damage kind of affect your car?
I think mostly, for the most part, you're going to get like suspension damage that could really mess up the handling. It didn't look like he had any wing damage, which obviously would mess up your just getting together there.
Managed to take out his team car there, the PA Posse car, Shane DiMantova as well.
Yeah, and then Zach T. Evans, again, starting up front of that first heat. He went up and over. But yeah, as long as the wing's not messed up, a lot of these guys must have suspension damage, and sometimes it's pretty easy to get required repairs in these sprint cars. I was gonna say modifieds, so used to saying that, but and then one thing too, kind of looking at what happened there between Vincent and was that Crump that got together? That was one of the monster cars. That might have been Keeler than the other monster car. But coming out of those corners and getting onto the straightaway, at least when I felt, even in the modifieds, it felt like you're kind of at Darlington. That wall will just jump up and bite you, and that's kind of up here. They just ran out of room coming out of 4, and they just got together out of the straightaway. It's hard to stay low coming out of that bottom side of the corner.
That was a whale of a restart there. It gave us a whole lot to talk about, and I even want to go all the way back to the very first bit of the restart when Mark Keeler, currently running 4th, who was the leader before that caution, swung up and hit the outside wall, which I would say even maybe triggered the more chaotic restart. People tried to jump over each other, jump 2 and 3 wide, and then that was that.
Oh, now they're doing a 3 wide? I'm not sure what's going on there.
That must be Chad Orion in there. Chad must have mentioned something.
Yeah, about the. And then I think one thing too is that, like, when that happened on the restart, sometimes if you hit the gas a little too hard, he might have just not had the grip in the rear wheels and just kind of drifted right up into the guardrail, which kind of caused kind of the chaos that kind of ensued after that. But hopefully this restart will be a little bit better as we get going back green on lap 11 of 30. Well, Frankenfield with a great restart. And he'll hold on to that lead.
Yep, Chad looking really strong here. Kind of, I guess, kind of midway through this race. Now as we're kind of approaching halfway, but lurking in his rear view is a guy we haven't talked about yet, Derek Self.
Yeah, I was just going to say, very impressive, staying out of trouble. Yeah, I haven't really mentioned him up front all day long in his heat race either. But hey, he's coming. He's catching up to Frankenfield, kind of forces him up in the cushion. Derek Self to the lead.
And just like that, we mention him, and he pulls out a big pass for the lead. Chad will look for that crossover, and that's going to be all dirt racing, is kind of swapping lanes, trying to force someone into the cushion just like that. Chad back to the lead. Ooh, maybe not.
Caution comes out. Ooh, they ended up saving it, but that's sometimes just hard when you're in that mid slide trying to get everything settled down. Luckily for them, they kept it going, and they look like they're good to go. And more bad luck for Keeler as he pulls onto the pit road. Appears to be involved in that wreck.
Yep, can't help but wonder if this is maybe a slide here through the corner. Maybe he had a little bit of help potentially. Let's take a look.
Yeah, it looks like
Austin Beers.
Austin Beers tonight. The dirt track kit. Oh, it just slid up a little bit too much, and Joey Logano had that, or Denny Hamlin had the quote of, mocking Joey Logano of it's just short track racing.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of just dirt track racing. Something like that kind of happens. You're sliding around so much. Sometimes contact is just kind of inevitable, and with open wheels, crazy things happen.
Right, and I don't know that Keeler, or rather, I don't know that that Austin Beers was really trying to spin anybody right there. They went in
No.
the corner 3 wide. But this is dirt track racing. You can make that work. It's just going to be treacherous, and we ran into the treachery right there.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times you think it might be able to stick, and maybe the 5 laps before that you did it consistently, it kind of stuck in that groove. But just depending on how you hit it, ooh, that didn't rough go of it there. Uh, but yeah, it just depending on this track kind of forever changes in a dirt track, which kind of makes it oh so interesting. But it's fun and frustrating all at the same time.
Yep. Quick shout out here before we go green to Jordan Owens. Pulled it up into 4th spot here, looking pretty good despite being involved in one of the incidents.
Yeah, looking pretty sporty, staying out of trouble for the most part. And they go back to green. Oh, Frankenfield kind of, I don't know if he lost control there, just ran right down into self. I don't know if that was planned or if that was just a little getting
Big
slick.
crash in the back as well.
I think Beers kind of just spun it around.
Looks like no caution.
No caution. It looked like it might have been just a solo spin. And now I wonder, we've seen a little bit of contact. Ooh, almost getting up into the wall, running that high side, trying to get that run. Oh,
There's the run.
Yep, Frankenfield got a little too sideways into the wall.
Jordan Owens to second.
How
but sideways and around. Oh, and Owens is flipped. And out of the track. Oh, no.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Can he jump down? It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
Wow. We're gonna have to take another look at that. He flipped all the way off the course. What an unfortunate turn of events for Jordan Owens.
And having trouble getting back on. Unfortunate. Oh, he's trying to. I think there's an opening he can get to if he can hit it right.
Wow.
And he's gonna try to go around, but that was just getting intense. You seen I was talking about going too far sideways and you lose that grip. And we've seen Owens do that, Chad do that.
Yeah, I think that car is messed up too.
Yeah, I think he's missing that front wing. And you could run like that, but I'm going to tell you, those front wheels are not going to go where you think they're going to go.
This was an incredible run for Jordan Owens, too. He was just about to take second away from Frankenfield and have an opportunity at the win.
Yeah, see, Frankenfield got loose, got up into the wall, and then Owens kind of doing that same thing, a little too sideways, a little too loose, and just kind of calamity happened and just shot above. A little souvenir there for maybe some fans, hopefully on the other side of that fence.
Whew. So a wild wreck there that kind of costs Jordan Owens some time and nearly a lap, it looks like. He may be able to retain being on the lead lap. They may have let him back by due to that kind of unfortunate event if that car still runs.
One other thing that's going to be interesting to play out, but Shane DiManitova, he hit Owens as he went spinning there, and I believe his front wing is missing on that car.
Yep, it sure is. Definitely a lot of wing damage. You can see it there. Not there. The front wing not there anymore. Front wing not there on Balvance's car either, and he's running 4th. So a bit of an attrition race here the rest of the way.
And again, like I said before, you can run it, but I mean, these guys are going to prove that they're wheelmen out here tonight without that front wing. That certainly helps those front tires stick. So I'm going to be curious to see what they do as we get ready to go back racing again as Derek Self tries to take the
Frankenfield spins off the front.
Oh, and a caution comes out again. Lap 25. I believe Frankenfield maybe calling it a night there. Let's see what happens. See, again, without that front wing, I don't know if Shane... it might have been a little combo of... Frankenfield might have came down there a little bit.
That kind of looked like Chad just kind of over-revved it a little bit and ended up cutting across the front nose of Shane DiManitova.
I believe he did the same thing too on that previous restart with Derek Self. So kind of came back to bite him this time, but yeah, it'd be interesting. Those two wingless guys for the Belvans and DiManitova. Two guys on front wings running second and third. That's pretty impressive.
the war of attrition, as it were, kind of showing off the way this race has unfolded. Dirt track racing, very much a war of attrition. You have to make sure that you stay clean, stay out of trouble. That's what Derek Self has done. He's certainly the car with the least amount of damage, and he's got that track position running first. All he needs to do is turn a couple of clean laps, I think, to bring it home.
Yeah, I think that's all it's going to take for him. He's gotten those good restarts, and that's all he needs to do, because I think it's going to be difficult for Alec and Shane to get that bite coming out of the corner without that front wing. It should be it should be a safe bet that Derek Self might be able to take this checkered flag, but you know what they always say, that's why they play the game, that's why we race the race.
Yeah, and it's one of those where we've already talked about it. So now, it's dirt track racing, so it's entirely possible that spinning tires on the restart, as we've seen Shad Frankenfield do, and that's our Cup Series champion that just spun the tires on the restart and spun out in front of the field. I mean, no one's saying this stuff is easy right here.
Yeah, it definitely is not. I believe they're going to restart single file here with under 5 to go. In fact, there'll be 2 to go here at the line. As Derek Self, good jump.
Very, very good jump. All he needs to do is keep this thing between the walls, and he'll come home a winner.
Yeah, just hang on to it, and it'll be easy for him to do with that front wing. Alec Belvans is just – I'm very impressed with that run for second place that he's holding on to. Shane's doing all he can to stay in fourth place there. Looks like he'll be able to do so. And Derek Self will come across the line. He'll win. Belvans is second, and Thomas Sherman, the birthday boy, coming home in third.
Yep, good run for Shane, as we kind of detailed as well. And then Scott Crump will finish fifth in that twin monster car with Mark Keeler there. So a couple of good runs. I know Crump had mentioned yesterday, or a couple of days ago, that he was pretty new to dirt. So a fifth place run, certainly something to be pleased with. It didn't seem like he was involved in any incidents.
Yeah, overall, I think a very solid night for him. And got to give a shout-out there to, as you see on the screen, the top 10. How about Jordan Owens? We saw him go over the wall, kind of into the grass, able to hang on and stay and finish in sixth. Probably could have had a little bit better night, but overall kept it pretty clean and able to recover from the little bit of the flip that he had there earlier.
We don't have anybody. We don't have anybody from the winner or the first, second, or third on Discord right now. It doesn't look like. So I was going to go ahead and try to bring up Vincent Isabella, our Heat 1 winner, to kind of get his thoughts on the race. I believe he was watching things go down. So let's bring him in just to have one interview here.
He's bringing his posse boy. He's watching his posse boy. I think that's what he's doing. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's bring Vince in. So, Vince, congratulations on winning Heat 1. Could you kind of maybe detail us what happened to knock you out of the race today?
Yeah, just going to the front. I didn't realize there was an inverter. I probably would have sandbagged the heat race, honestly. Fastest car on the track the whole time. Yeah, I just thought I had more room, and he was four lanes off the wall. So, unlucky.
Yeah, it looked like you were really making some progress up through the field at the beginning of the heat before bad luck struck. I really gotta give you an attaboy. It seems like on this dirt stuff, man, you really gotta figure it out.
Yeah, I love the dirt stuff. Run a lot with Austin and those guys, so just proud. We got a heat win. Got our car out front. Showed out for the PA posse and ID Racing.
Yeah.
Awesome. I was going to grab the other heat winner as well and bring him in here to ask him. But congratulations, Vince, on your heat win. I know we weren't able to talk to you about the actual feature finish, but good job.
Yep, just a reminder. ID Racing swept the heats. So.
Hey.
Ooh. He's making a shout out. Watch out. There it is. That's what I was waiting for.
Watch out for the limited late model race. We're coming.
Yes, sir. All right. Good luck tomorrow on the duels and qualifying.
Thank you. Talk to you guys later.
Yep. See you, buddy.
Have a good one.
And let's grab our other winner here, our other heat winner, because we have access to him. Vic Bloom. Vic, congratulations on heat number 2 win. But a little bit of an unfortunate mishap in the race. Could you kind of maybe detail what happened there between the two?
Yeah, I couldn't see. I just completely forgot to just do the tear off visor thingy, and I just couldn't see. There was just dirt in my eyes.
One thing I gotta say, Vic, we were talking before the race. You weren't that confident you were gonna be that fast, and man, you were flying out there in heat number 2.
Wow, that was all Vince. All Vince, completely on Vince. He was like, "Yeah, this is how you run the track," and I was like, "Oh, okay, that's cool. I've never done this before."
Yeah, it seemed like you had consistent laps you were knocking off, and you were just hitting everything. Just seemed like just right. And unfortunately for that invert, that probably kind of hurt you and Vincent on the feature race there.
Oh yeah, that invert definitely hurt us. I would have been able to see had it not been inverted.
Awesome. Well, Vic, congratulations on the heat win. I know it's tough, but you really showed some speed today, and I'm kind of we were both kind of surprised. We were both raving about how well you did in that heat race. So I hate that no one else was on, but so you get an interview. So congrats.
Oh yeah, I mean it's great though. I mean I get to be up here with you guys, and then David we get to do tomorrow night with Rish. It's real great.
Oh yeah, so yeah, remember guys, and then Goody here is going to be running in the Daytona 500, or at least qualifying and then running in his dual race. So remember to tune in again tomorrow night here on the Elite Racing Network, 7 o'clock, I believe,
Heck
right?
Yeah,
And
I think we're doing single car qualifying too.
Yep. So we're gonna have qualifying. We're gonna have interviews. We're gonna have me and Vic trying to find who wants to talk. I'm sure we'll bring Goody up for some fun times.
It'd be a good time. Also, speaking of tonight, I got to give Vic an attaboy. He made it into the top 10, as you see on the screen there, 10th spot.
I made it in the top 10 because Vince's car was completely screwed up, and there was enough caution laps for me to get back out after 8 minutes of damage.
Then the top 10.
By the way, after 8 minutes of damage, those cars drive fantastic, brand new.
Hey,
Just need
that's
the 8
good to know.
minutes.
Yeah,
Eight, 8 minutes. 8 minutes in a sprint car. That's it. But it's not no 30-minute repairs for sprint cars. No. 8 minutes.
8 minutes. 8 minutes is
8 minutes
good.
does it. You
Awesome.
can pull Shane up if you want. I'll stick around.
All right, yeah, we can interview Shane, the other half of the PA posse.
Yeah.
The other half of the PA posse from Ohio.
Yeah,
Right.
well, yeah. Shane, awesome 4th place run. I thought maybe you had a shot at finishing in 3rd spot.
Yeah, howdy. I thought I had it there at the end, but just came up short, and fortunately, Vincent, probably the better driver, and the PA posse just had trouble.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. One thing that I was kind of telling David here on that last restart, you kind of got caught up in, I believe it was Jordan Owens' wreck, and you were missing that front wing. How hard was it to drive that car in those last few laps after that incident?
Yeah, I mean, it was tricky for sure. I mean, dirt cars obviously aren't my thing, but just coming in here for a good time, and it was all messed up after that contact, and luckily we kept getting caution after caution, so we lucked out, and somehow I look up, and I'm like, hey, we're in 3rd place, so then me and Chad made contact, and we had the somewhat long green flag right at the end there.
Yeah. Awesome. Good run, Shane. You're the highest finisher that we were able to interview. So essentially, you're the winner. Not really. But
I wish.
You're a winner in our hearts, at least.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always a winner in Vic's heart, I know.
All right.
I think.
Oh, yeah, mine and Britain's heart, buddy.
Alrighty.
Nice.
Well, that's it for the Elite Racing Network. For Richmar Florist Racing, C2 Freight, and everyone else on board with us this season. We're looking forward to bringing you guys another great race tomorrow with qualifying and then 2 dual races. So please tune back in. And with that, yeah, we'll be off tonight. Goody, any final thoughts?
It was just fun to watch we normally run those NASCAR series, and it's kind of cool seeing us run on dirt. and I believe we have a couple more. And again, really looking forward to getting back on track in Daytona tomorrow, and seeing what you and Vic do in the booth. I know you and Vic can make that interesting tomorrow, and while I'm waiting for my qualifying, maybe stop in here and certainly tuning in right here on Elite Racing Network. That's going to be for sure. And those duels, I'm sure, going to be a doozy as well. So I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, I think it's going to be a good time. But until next time, I'm Michael Goodman for David Westergreen. Thank you all for tuning in to tonight's 410 Sprint Car race here at Volusia, and see y'all next time tomorrow night right here on Elite Racing.